Welcome everybody, I'm Joe Mama, your host. So today we are going to build a very simple, very compact, and very vanilla creeper farm. Now I just want to tell you right up front that this design, if you're on Pocket Edition or Bedrock Edition, don't bother. This is for Java Edition and works very well in Java Edition. You don't need any mods, you don't need any redstone, and it's pretty compact as you can see, and it's stackable, which is really awesome. So we're gonna do this in creative mode. Now as you can probably hear, it does involve cats. It is centered around the idea that cats repel creepers. For those of you that follow me on my Create Mod playlist, you're probably wondering what this video is doing here. Well, this is actually part of a larger project. We're going to be building a rocket factory using the Create mod, but for this particular project, it is very simple, but it is involved enough that it does deserve its own video. Plus, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that want to make lots of gunpowder, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so we've displaced ourselves quite a ways away from that spawner over there. Also, keep in mind that when you build this, you want to keep it away from the world spawn. It probably won't be an issue in a survival type game where when we play, we always drift away from the spawn area anyway, so it probably won't be an issue. But if you're wanting to test it in a creative world like I am, you probably want to test it right there near spawn. Resist the urge, move away, and get away from the world spawn. That will help you a lot. Anyway, so let's get started. So you can use just about any kind of world building block. In this case, I'm using stone. Start by digging a hole 3 by 2, just like that. And then first we're going to lay out a couple of 2 by 2 squares. As you can see, take note. It's going to be shaped like a butterfly, so pay particular attention to this shape. And you want to do the same thing on the other side. And then once you've got that, go out 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, counting with Joe Mama. By the way, this design is not mine. This is presented by a YouTuber by the name of Chapman, and I think that's his complete name. Oh, you know what? I did that wrong. I think that's his complete name. Okay, that's 1/2, and that's both halves. Now we want to go up 1 more layer. Okay, so there we've gone up 2 layers. So once you've gotten that far, what you want to do, take your hole. You want to go down 4 spaces. That would be ideal. Since this is going to be the spot where we trap the creepers, go ahead and put your trapdoors in place and collapse them. Now, you want to put a place for the cat to sit, and each wing gets a cat. We're going to place these, see, in approximately the center against the wall, as you can see, attached to the second block up, leaving a full block space underneath on each side. So by this time, your project should look like this. Okay, so next, we want to cover this in a layer of trapdoors, and the layer will be right here. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, and just go over the whole thing with trapdoors. And the reason for this, and you're going to have to hold that shift, or is it the shift key? Yeah, you're going to have to hold that shift key down with your pinky. The reason we're doing this is creepers are shorter than the other mobs, so we need to give them a place where only they can spawn. They're shorter than the zombie or the skeleton. So what we're doing is we're giving them a place where only creepers can spawn. But I would be lying to you if I said that were indeed the case. You're actually going to end up with a lot of bats that spawn in here. We want to do this in the dark, of course, and it will work any time of day, but you are going to end up with a ton of bats. So we're also going to set up something that's going to prevent the formation of spiders. Okay, your farm should now look like this. Now the reason we're using trapdoors is because creepers are shorter than zombies or skeletons. And zombies and skeletons cannot form in the spaces that are underneath these trapdoors, but creepers can. So this is basically going to help limit the type of mob that can form to the creepers that we're looking for. Next, This is probably going to be the hardest part of this. Now remember, this is one layer, and each layer requires 2 cats. There's a reason that we say herding cats is one of the hardest things in the world to do. There's truth to that, and that is true in Minecraft. We're going to use a cat egg for the purposes of this build, but to do this for real in survival mode, yes, you're going to have to go put a leash on a cat and drag the cat over here. We're going to put a cat in each of these spots, and then, with calico, and okay, then we want to make him sit, okay? Got to have some salmon with you to make him sit. Or I guess, does it have to be salmon? I don't know. I guess it could be cod. But I brought salmon anyway. Let's go ahead and put a second cat. And let's make him sit. Okay? The reason we want to make him sit is so that he doesn't despawn and he doesn't teleport to you wherever you go. The cat will stay there. That's what we're looking for. Oh, he's actually purring. That's cute. Okay, we're going to assume that this is going to be one layer. So this hole right here, we're actually going to cover. When we go to put the ceiling on, we're going to cover that. But I would like to do one other thing before we put the ceiling on. That is, we're going to take 14 pieces of carpet, and we're going to space them so that there's no more than 2 blocks in between them. Do you see that? 1, 2, and then in all directions. So there's going to be 7 on each side. And that is actually going to prevent spiders from spawning. Spiders can spawn in a block that is 1 block high and 3 by 3 wide. With this carpet block here and the trapdoors up here affecting that block, there's no way for a spider to spawn in here now. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, now that, if I've planned that right, there should be no area of grass or other land left at 3 by 3. It should all be interrupted by the carpet. Fantastic. What we're going to do is we're going to excavate our chute. So we have a place for our water to flow. We're going to take water, put it here, and we're going to excavate this out until it stops. Right there, okay? And then we're going to keep going until the water stops again. Now the reason we're doing this is because we're going to set up a collection area that's lit, but we don't want any of that light bleeding back into our creeper spawn area. We want to keep that area dark. Okay, so this is where the water ends. Let's go ahead and grab a torch. And oh yes, there we go. I do have torches on me. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we're actually going to excavate a little bit of a room. And we're going to have our hoppers here. And we're going to have our chest right here to where they're going to go. So let's put our chest in place. Okay, let's put our hoppers in place. And now we're going to wall this off with glass. Now we're going to need some signs. And what we're going to do is we're going to trap some lava here to kill the creepers. So we're going to put signs right there, right here. And then we're going to take our lava buckets. Now we're using creative mode, so we can just kind of cheat one in there. Boom, boom. I only need the one bucket. And then we're going to go ahead and cover that with glass so that when the creeper comes down in here and gets trapped, he doesn't try to bob up through the lava, die, and then when his drops form, they don't fall into the lava. We want him to be close to the hopper when his drops form. Okay, so let's go ahead, make a hole so we can observe what's going on. You'll understand what I mean here in a little bit. And let's go ahead and cover this with glass. You don't have to do this part, but for testing reasons, if this is your first time doing it, you're probably going to want to do this. So that should be good. Let's go ahead also and make a kind of a stairwell to get down in there so we can retrieve our spoils. Okay, I think we're good to go. And let's do our final check. There are no light sources in here, so it will be dark. So we're going to go ahead and put the roof on and just cover right over the cat. If you're putting the ceiling on and you intend on adding more layers to this, which indeed is more than possible, in fact, that is preferable. If you're going to add more layers, then this is going to be the floor of your next layer. And you might want to add, I don't know, add some more blocks to the corners here. But this is where you would add your next layer of trapdoors, just like those. And then you'd build walls, you'd build a layer just like below, and then put a ceiling of trapdoors on this one. But in this case, we are just going to use the single layer just to kind of demonstrate the power of one layer. So we're going to go ahead and cover that up. And we should be completely covered. Okay, now we are on peaceful mode. So we're going to have to make that switch. And this is an AFK farm. So you're going to have to pick an AFK spot. Now you have two choices here. You can, in order to improve the efficiency of this, you can find every cave and every nook and every cranny under your base, under your survival world base, and light it up to limit the number of mobs, of nuisance mobs, that would form and take away from this efficiency. Or you can set up an AFK spot that is within the 128 blocks radius of this farm, but still eliminating every other mob forming area. So that's what we're going to do. It's a lot more sensible, I think. But in creative mode, we can kind of test this out. So what we do is, okay, let's find out what sea level is here. Sea level here is 12. Okay, I've set this world up so we had a little bit of wiggle room in the ground that we could dig stuff rather than the usual 2 layers of dirt. I gave us 10 layers. So we're up to level 12 right now. So that's where the floor of this mob farm is. And in my experimentation, I found that 122 to 123 levels above that seems to work okay. So we're going to test that. If we're at 12, we're going to go up to 135. Okay. And then we're going to do a thing. Let's turn, oh yeah, we're actually going to need that. We're going to do a thing. Let's see. I'm going to position myself over right there. Okay, we're going to go up to 135. 130 to 35. That range right there will work. At least it does for me. How it works for you, you might have to do some experimentation. Okay, let's do 133. And I've got Optifine in so I can zoom in. That's great. And let's take that off. And I'm actually going to do the create mod here. And I'll try to insert some stuff here, so some footage, so you can see what's going on inside there as we're all the way up here. Now, we're going to go ahead and options. I'm going to put it on hard, done. Okay, now look. We should start to see slimes appearing. We might. Now let's go ahead and see if we can see. We might not see the creepers themselves, but we might see, there's some slimes. We might see the particles as they start dying in the lava. So let's see. There we go. Can you see that? They're starting to die. If you could see the little poof marks there in the lava, those are creepers. We can't see the creepers themselves, but we can see their particles as they die. We'll use this as an example so you can see what one layer will do. We'll sit here for a few minutes and watch this thing happen. We'll sit here for about 3 more minutes, and I will watch my time, but we'll do a jump cut for your sake. Okay, we'll go ahead and stop the recording, and oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and turn it back to peaceful. How about that? So we don't get our ears totally raped by slime sounds. Okay, there we go. And let's go down. Now notice what I did to this farm over here. I lit the area up all around it to just kind of help things out, but I disabled the day-night cycle so we wouldn't have to worry about that. So let's take a look and see what we got in 5 minutes. Wow, there's actually zombie flesh? Seems odd. Look at that. That's over 2 stacks in 5 minutes. I call that pretty good. For 1 layer, that is very awesome. I am very happy with that. Now imagine how much we would get if we made, say, 6, 7, 8 layers. Okay guys, as you can see, this farm is incredibly compact, incredibly effective. It's got no redstone, so it's really simple, and it's tileable, it's stackable, and I think it's going to be super effective for whatever you need for your gunpowder needs. I think it's going to be great. Again, I can't take credit for this design. It's by a YouTuber named Chapman. I added a couple of little tweaks to it to include the carpets that are next to the drop hole. Those were not in his design, and as a result, in a test that I did, spiders were forming there. So by putting carpet there, we're going to keep spiders from forming in here at all. Also, he didn't address some issues like, you know, sometimes these things won't spawn creepers, and it's because they're too close to world spawn, as the one beyond, as the farm beyond that one is. And sometimes it doesn't do it because you pick your AFK spot wrong. He gives a figure of 128, but I found that to actually be too high. I was not getting any creepers forming whatsoever, so find what works for you. It might be as simple as game settings, I don't know. For those of you that follow my Create Mod series, this is one of 2 videos that will cover the production of a larger project, which is a rocket factory. We've got Elytra now, but we don't have any rockets, so I figured, well, we need gunpowder, and here's a great way to get it. And once we have the gunpowder, we can mix it with sugarcane, and we can create it automatically. We can create rockets automatically. So we will do that next time. Okay guys, so quick distraction. I just wanted to throw this in there while I'm still working on editing the video. But I am in my survival world, and can I just say I hate herding cats. But yes, anyway, if you look below me, you're going to see that I have created a creeper farm in my survival world, and this is what we're going to use to actually create the rocket factory. But for the sake of this video, I wanted to give you guys an idea of how much gunpowder you could produce in a relatively short amount of time. So after about 3 hours, I would say 3 IRL hours, we've got a full double chest, a full hopper, and we've got almost half a double chest again of gunpowder. So this, oh, and let's take a look at the farm. I cannot escape this guy. Go away. But this is a 4-layer farm, and it is made exactly the same way. Just tried to decorate it with the blocks that I had an absolute crap ton of. And there are 8 cats in there. This is such a simple farm to make, except for the cats. I'm not gonna lie, the cats are the part of this that makes this absolutely a pain in the neck to make in a survival world. And when you don't have access to the egg, it is an absolute monster of a task. But you know what? It's freaking worth it if you want to take the bull by the horns and do it. It's absolutely worth it. By the way, the only way down from here is via Elytra, so just so you know. And I put this little observation window. You can do this on your own, but I've also well lit the land below so that no mobs are going to form on the ground except for what's inside that creeper farm. So there you go. You can see the particles. Creepers are already forming and adding to the mix. And so there you go. Here's a real life, air quotes, real life survival world application. But anyway, y'all have a wonderful day, and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Sure helps me out, lets you know this stuff is cool with you. It's cool with me. I'm hoping you have a lot of fun with this. I know I am. And I will see you in the next one. Ciao.